Happy Father's Day, everybody. 2017. I can't even begin to tell you how much growth I've had this year, how much growth I've had in the last 2 months, let alone just this year alone. But everything, I'm at a loss of words right now. Everything that I see, everything that I go through, everything I witness is just a small reminder of where I've come from and what I've been through and what I'm still overcoming. But every time I have to drop my son off, after just getting to spend a couple of days with him, it never gets any easier. And it really makes you think about everything that you've done and everything you missed out on and everything that you should have been a part of when you were younger, but you were too busy. I was too busy running around trying to act cool and doing everything that didn't matter. I don't live in regret anymore the way I used to. Now I look at the growth and I fall in love with that every time. I fall more in love with him. Every one of you dads out there, and every one of you moms too, everybody's, got their day that's set aside for them, but everybody deserves recognition if you have children, whether you're a blood parent or not. I was 20 years old. No, I'm sorry. I was 20 when he was born. I was 21 years old when I celebrated my first Father's Day. But I couldn't tell you what we did. I couldn't tell you if I was even there. I don't know if I was fishing somewhere or, knowing me, hunting, or chasing some, back then, young girl that never was going to be my wife. I don't really know what I was doing back then when I celebrated my first Father's Day. But ever since I turned my life over to God back in 2014, and I'm not saying that I just woke up fixed or healed, because I'm still suffering from some of the same things from way back then, but I can tell you where I've been ever since on Father's Day, and that's with him. But to every one of you dads that don't get to be with your kids on Father's Day because of your in the service, or you just, whatever reason it is, man, I just encourage you to give it to God and pray over it and ask for the tools to build that bridge back to your child, or to somehow reach out to him and be able to share something with him, because I know if I could go back and do it all over again, I would have never missed a day. Not one day. There's nothing more important on the face of this earth than spending every day that I can with my son, and we're trying to be involved in what he has going on. There's a lot of things that people, even myself, don't get to share with families, and they don't have that family togetherness like some families. And that's something I've always looked at and been like, man, you know, I wish my family had that. Because not only did I not have it in my family, but even before I was a dad, my family didn't really do that within itself. So I never had that example growing up. And I think that's probably what's given me the drive over the last, I don't know, 3 or 4 years now to try to change that, to try to not carry on that cycle. And I'm very thankful that I got to spend Father's Day. I mean, not only that, the whole weekend with him, but every day is Father's Day. Every day is Mother's Day for those of us that have kids, because they depend on us every day. And every day they need us to wake up and be the best that we can be, and be who God has called us to be, because they look at us. They follow our footsteps. And the hardest thing, and it's a quote, I can't remember the entire quote, but it says, "Daddy, slow down. You're leading me. I'm following in your footsteps." And I saw that this weekend. I mean, I've seen it several times before, but I was really open to it this weekend, I guess more than ever. And you know, it's pretty cool when your son says, "Dad, I really miss you when we're not together, and I think about you." Not only that, though, right before I dropped him off, we were driving home, and he said, "Dad, have you had a good Father's Day? Even though I didn't get you anything?" I said, "Yes, son, I have." I said, "I don't need you to get me anything." I said, "All I need is you. I'm just happy I have you." And he said, "Good." He said, "Because I had fun watching movies with you and taking a nap today." I mean, we didn't do anything spectacular. We went to church and we prayed, and we spent time with just me and him, and just him and I. We didn't go anywhere. We just both stayed right next to each other pretty much all weekend. We didn't have a really eventful weekend to speak of, but it just reminds me of the reason why I go to work, why I seek God in the first place, because my life was so out of control. It had no purpose. There was no love, there was no family, there was no structure, there was no example for me to leave him, for me to give him. And God knows I still have to work on that example, because I'm no saint. But God has given me the ability and the maturity to know that it's not about me. It never was about me. From the moment I had him, this isn't my life anymore. I have to live for God, and then right after God, I live for him. And that's better than any amount of money. I've chased a lot of different feelings in life, and I've gotten to experience a lot of those feelings, and nothing has ever come close to, number one, the feeling of when God loves me and has wrapped his arms around me, and then he has allowed me to feel the love from not only from me to Gage, but from Gage back to me. There's nothing comes close. Not even, I can't even compare it to anything. And to everybody out there that still struggles with stuff, depression and emptiness and insecurities and just loneliness and just the broken-minded ways of the broken-hearted people, such as myself. The time is now to want to do something different, to want to feel something different, to want to be positive, to want to be an example for your kids, for your wives, for your co-workers, your family, just everybody, but mainly your kids. You know, I used to think, man, I can't be a dad this young. I still got to go to the bar. I got to go hunt. I got to go fish. I got to go be cool, man. Somebody else needs to take care of that baby. That was the most selfish, stupid, cruel thing that I have ever thought in my life. And I regretted it for a long time. I've come to peace and pardon with it now. I've seek the healing and the peace from God and then back to Gage. But I still see so much of that go on, and I just want to reach out to all these young men, and even the men that are my age still doing it. I just want to reach out to them and pull them into my arms and say, man, they're not babies forever. They don't stay little like that for very long, and you're gonna miss it. And before you know it, they're gonna wonder where you were and why there's no pictures with you and mommy together. And they're gonna look at you and say, where were you? And I couldn't face that anymore. I couldn't live like that. I did that for so many years. And I couldn't do that to him. Because every time he would look at me and he would say little things like, Daddy, I love you, where were you? Daddy, I was with Mimi, I was with Papa, I was with my mom, but... Or somebody would call me and tell me the stories about my little boy that I should have been there and seen. And I couldn't do that anymore. I couldn't face that day. I couldn't live out of town that far away. I used to think I was too cool to show up for baseball and t-ball and soccer. Man, I missed out on a lot. And I can tell you right now that if I miss something now, it's only because I have to. It's only because I can't take off of work to do it. It's not because I choose to go be somewhere else. But to have him ask me today, Dad, did you have a good Father's Day? And how was your day? And then he said, "Dad, I forgot to get you a present. I'm sorry." I said, "Son, you have nothing to be sorry for. I have everything I need with you next to me. I don't need a present. Ever. Let this video be an inspiration for all you moms and dads out there with young kids, especially young parents, because there's a lot of us out there nowadays. There's a lot of kids having kids. There's a lot of babies having babies. I brought my son into a broken marriage, or not a marriage, but into a broken relationship, into a broken family. But I won't allow it to continue. Excuse me for the tears and the sniffling, but they're tears of joy, they're tears of love, they're tears of lessons learned, and they're also tears for the other young men like myself that have faced these things. And like I said, I just want to reach out to them and pull them into my arms and say, guys, I love you. Go love your kids. Go be a dad. Go make them the center of your world. No matter how bad it was between you and his mom, whether you can make that right or not, go make it right with your kids. Be that dad. Be that dad that your son or daughter goes to school and goes everywhere else and says, you know, my daddy loves me. My daddy's there. It's hard to learn patience. It's hard to learn to sacrifice things, especially when I shorted, you know, my son and myself of life by making some irresponsible choices of having him out of wedlock and having him so young. Right when I had him, I was trying to figure out what college that I was getting into. I was trying to go to Tech. I was trying to become a game warden. I was trying to get a degree in ag. And I never, you know, and right when I told my family I was going to have him, everybody was mad. Everybody's like, oh, dude, you ruined your life. You know, you made a dumb mistake. Well, I believed that at the time, so I ran. I did what they told me to. They said, oh, you can forget about school and you can forget about all this other stuff. You can forget about your life. It's over. It's done. It's ruined. You had a kid way too young. Well, they were right about one thing. I wasn't thinking about anybody else other than myself in the moment of the activities that took place to make that baby. But from that moment on, he was the best thing that ever happened to me, because even though it took me the time it took me and the age it took me to get to where I am now, that has been the best thing that has ever happened to me. And he is the reason God used him to bridge me back to God, which in turn turned me around and put me back on the path that I am now, to being a dad, to being a brother. Well, not a brother, but I do have a sister. To being a brother, to being a man, and not a man of this world, a man of God, a man that is not afraid to talk about his faults and what I was ashamed of, and for what I lived and for what I didn't live. You know, I could go into grave detail about everything that was done and said, and still, even up until yesterday, things that people say to me because they still don't think I'm good enough. But none of that matters. The only thing that matters is that you show up and make a difference. I'm telling you right now, If you got a kid, go find them. Go be a dad. Go be a mom. I ran from that for so long. Thought I was too cool. Thought I had, thought that my parents' company was just what made me who I was. That I was just, that I was invincible. That I just, tell you the truth, I thought I was rich, and I used to lie a lot and paint this fake, stupid image that when really people looked back at me and they go, man, you're dumb. And I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful for every person, whether it was the right thing to tell me or not. I'm thankful for every person that ever looked at me and said, you know what? You're real immature, you're acting real stupid, and you're making some bad choices. Because that stuck in my head until the first day that I actually decided to wake up and do something about it. And it I'm not saying that it was all fixed that first day. I would fall the next day. I would wake up and start again and take off. I would fall again. I'd hit my knees. I'd come right back up every time though. Ready to fight, ready to make a difference just that one day. Until it finally became a repetition. It became a constant. And I'm not saying it's gravy now. It's still not gravy. I still struggle. We still struggle. I still have people against me, thinking that I can't do my part as a single dad, thinking that I'm not capable, that I don't know what I'm doing, and that I have several people that tell me, man, just leave him, just let us take him, because we know better than you. We got more money than you. We got a brick house. I mean, because I live in a fifth wheel, and I still have people say, we can do this better than you, or they can do that better than you, just to quit. Well, honestly, I think that's probably been my drive behind all of it. And I'm not talking bad about these people. I'm not putting them down, because that was their opinion. That's what they thought. And to be honest, I caused a lot of that by the person that I chose to show them. And I'm not going to drag this video out much longer, but man, if you got kids somewhere, go be a dad. That's the coolest damn thing in the world. Especially when he looks up at you and he says, Dad, I love you. I think you're real cool. I want to go do things with you. I want to be like you. I thank God every day for him. To all you dads out there that do fight the good fight, though, keep it up, man. It's worth it. I know it's tough, but it's worth it. Y'all have an amazing Father's Day. Go kiss your wives. Go kiss your kids. Go kiss your dads. Be a steward. Spread God's love. Have a good day. Fly with Christ. I love you all.